Hey, this is David Klima with Aardvark Home Inspectors. We do home inspections for buyers and for sellers. We do radon testing. We install radon mitigation systems. We do mold testing. We do mold remediation work. We do well testing. We can grab water and let you know about the quality of your water. We do pool inspections and much more. We also have a full service termite and pest control company. And from time to time, we'll make videos to show you what we're doing in the field and to educate you. So I hope that you enjoy the video that we made for you today. Hey, this is Dave Klima with Aardvark. You're not seeing my face right now, but I want to show you something. We're going to be installing a radon system today. And what we have to do is we have to bust a hole in the floor to create a suction pit. And then from there, we're going to run a pipe to the outside of the house through this band board or box plate. And then we're going to mount the fan on the exterior of the house and run the system up the exterior wall. So one of the tricks of the trade is you always want to drill a pilot hole and know exactly where you're coming from the outside. So right now, Mark's going to do that. Go ahead, Mark. And when you drill it in the band board or box plate, you always want to do your hole a little bit more to the right, so you have room to run your electric. So you don't always want to go in the middle, but you can see he's going to be on the right third and about the middle. So that's a pilot hole. And then on the outside, we're going to use our 3-inch hole saw and be able to run our pipe through that. So we'll come back later and show you the results. Okay, now you can see that our drill bit is basically coming out, from the basement. And what we're going to do, and I'm going to do, is just pull that out. You can see I got my hole right there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to drill a 3-inch hole in the siding. And here's a little trick of the trade. So use a fine-tooth bit like this and put it in reverse. So actually cut in reverse, and it will not crack or chip the siding. It's really important, especially when the siding is colder. So we're going to cut that hole, and then I'm going to show you the next step. Okay, now you can see that we have our 3-inch hole cut, and by doing the technique that I showed you, there's no chipping, to the siding. So what we're going to do next is we're actually going to we changed out the bit to a spider bit. These things are awesome. They're great for drilling through the wood, and it goes a lot faster than the fine tooth bit. So now I'm going to make the 3-inch hole all the way through the wood. Okay, so the next step in the radon job is after you drill that hole, you're going to have a piece of wood about this size cored out, and then you want to run a pipe through that hole. 3-inch pipe is what we're using today, and then you want to put an elbow on that pipe so you can mount your fan, and you want to make sure that it's 100% level like that is. Okay, so I'll show you the next steps. Another thing that you could do, actually, a little trick of the trade, when you're putting on your fan, sometimes that pipe could get unlevel. So what you can do is you can take a marker and you can mark the pipe and mark the siding, just a little line. And so as you're finishing the job, as long as you keep the line on the siding and the line on your pipe the same, you're going to stay level all the way up. And it just has to be like a little dot. It doesn't have to be a big old long line. As a matter of fact, that line on the siding will get covered up with caulk once we're done with the job. Okay, here's the next step. So what we do is we cut about a 5-inch or 6-inch tailpiece to go on top of our elbow. And the reason why we do that is so if we ever need to change out the fan later, we can loosen this coupler, slide it down, and we can slide the fan down and then change it out much easier. So, this tailpiece is important. Don't put your coupler right on top of the elbow. And the other thing is you want to make sure, it's level like it is right now. And then here's the little blue lines that I was telling you about. We made the blue lines on the siding and the blue line on the pipe. So if I keep that even the whole time I'm installing, then it's going to be level all the way up. So the next step after that would be putting the fan on, but we like to wire the fan first. It's easier to wire the fan on a table or something versus trying to wire it while it's on the coupler. So the next step will be wiring the fan And then after that, putting the fan on this coupler. Okay, so just to recap, what we did is we pre-wired that fan with that conduit. You can see the gray conduit goes into the fan. It's weatherproof, going into a weatherproof box with a weatherproof switch. And so there's an electrical disconnect within the eyesight of the fan. Some radon mitigation companies do not do that. But also at the same time, we're making sure that when we mounted this fan, it remains level. So then the next step is going to be to elbow this 45. We basically use two 45s back to the wall, put a clamp on right about in there, and then run it all the way up and then around the roof line. So we're going to show those steps next. Basically what you need on this next steps is a coupler, two 45s, a 5-inch piece of pipe, and a 2.5-inch piece of pipe. So I'll show you how all those get put together. Okay, so again, what I said is we put a small tail piece in, and then we put two 45s together. So you need about a 2.5-inch piece to put those two 45s together. And then you can see that we're double checking, make sure it's level. Now what we're gonna do is we'll need a piece of pipe to run up from here all the way to the top and under the soffit. And so the trick of the trade is measure that distance and subtract 5.5 inches for the size of the elbow. So we're going to do that step next, and we're going to put some clamps on that pipe, and then we'll also at the same time we're going to run it up and around the soffit. So we'll show you what that looks like when we're done. Okay, so just to show you what it looks like extended from that 45, we basically ran our pipe and we put a clamp there. Of course, this pipe is level. And then we put a clamp up top. We put our elbow coming out the soffit, which you can see that runs along the lines of the soffit, so that's good. Put another clamp securing the pipe there. And then we'll go up about 20 inches above the gutter. So that's pretty much what the outside looks like. Now we're going to take you inside and show you what we've done in there. All right, remember earlier in the video when we started, we said where we're going to start, you know, and go to the outside. So what we do at Aardvark, and it's different than what other home inspection companies do. Some home inspection companies will just drill a 3-inch core into the slab, bust that concrete out, and then they stick their pipe right on top of the dirt. So an analogy I'll give you is that's like trying to drink a milkshake and sticking the straw on the bottom of the glass. You're not going to get good movement. So what we do at Aardvark, you can see there's a 5-gallon bucket full of dirt, and that's our 4th one out of this hole. So you can see we basically make a round circle, and that's how big our lid is, and then we make our hole, you know, smaller than that. And then you can see all the dirt that we've dug out. And again, 4 5-gallon buckets of dirt. So that's what we call a good suction pit, and is going to allow for good air movement. And so what we're doing, this is the pipe from the outside, and we'll probably use a couple 45s on it. And then we're going to come down this wall and then go into the lid that we're going to put on the floor. So I'll show you that when we're done. Okay, so when we left you off, we were going to connect to that pipe coming through the wall. So we connected to that, and we ran our suction pipe all the way down to the floor and through a lid. That lid has been caulked, so we're caulked all around that lid. The pipe has the stickers on it, has a manometer on it, which is measuring, you know, basically vacuum pressure. That's not measuring radon levels. That's the vacuum pressure. That's letting us know that the radon fan is working. If you have a radon system and you ever go look at your manometer and it looks like this, where the levels are even, then you know you've lost vacuum pressure. So usually what happens is either the breaker tripped, or the fan switch was turned off, or the fan itself burned up, okay? So anyway, and then also on here, we'll put a sticker that's not on there yet, but we'll put a sticker saying that Aardvark did it, the day that we did it, our license number, our website address, our phone number, all of that kind of stuff. So, and then the other thing that we're doing is around the edge of the foundation, there's usually a gap, and radon can leak through that gap. So we're caulking that. So So you can see that we put a bead of caulk right there to seal up the gap, and it's an area that radon can leak through. So anyway, it's another high quality radon job that was done by Aardvark. And if you ever want to learn more about radon, you go to aardvarkinspect.com and go to our website and click on our radon testing and radon mitigation pages. All right, thank you.